Well, hello there. I'm going to be talking about Resident Evil in honor of, well, Resident Evil 4 Remake coming out. But I want to do something a little bit different. So I decided to tackle a Resident Evil video by one of my honestly favorite YouTube creators and kind of critique his Resident Evil video, which is about critiquing other people's critiques about Resident Evil 3. It'll make a little bit more sense once I get into it. I'll also put a link to his video in the description below. And you want to know what? Before I get into it, I'm going to give you guys a little treat if you stay for the whole video. At the end, I'm going to give you guys a controversial Resident Evil opinion that I have that might make some of you mad, might validate some of you guys, but I won't say that until the end of the video. So you're going to have to watch the whole thing to see it, or fast forward, I guess, whichever one, but please watch the whole video.
Spider-Man DLC, and that's what this feels like. This feels like Resident Evil 2 DLC, Resident Evil 2.5. And there are even some zones in the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis game that aren't in the Resident Evil 3 remake. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you take an already short game and make it shorter for your remake?
Now, for this one, I don't need to take you down memory lane to show why this is unfounded criticism. I only need to point you to last year's mega hit, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, this game received unanimous praise, and you know, that kinda irks me. It seems no matter what game features Leon S. Kennedy, people seem to throw it a crazy amount of praise, from the original RE2 to Resident Evil 4, which isn't even a fucking Resident Evil game. It started the downfall of Resident Evil as a series, but that's a topic for another video. Basically, what I'm saying is, if a game features Leon, people seem to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and just ignore the things that might be wrong with it. Like, I don't know, completely cutting out zapping, dumbing down the A-B scenarios, a feature that made the original RE2 one of the best games in the series, firing Allison Court as the voice of Claire, and then making Claire look so much like a robot when she smiles even Kawhi Leonard would be like. What I'm saying is, that game got problems. It removed content that was in the original game and reimagined a lot of the areas and boss fights. That's what a remake does. It takes elements of the original and makes something different. Different being the key word here.
Alright, so with this section I just showed you from his video, there are some points I do agree with and some points I don't agree with. Like, what I agree with is what he said about Leon. A lot of people just give games with Leon a free pass for some reason, and I don't know why. What he said about Resident Evil 4, I also agree with. I agree with him on that front as well. Now, what I disagree with him is when he brings up missing stuff from the Resident Evil 2 remake and making that justify the missing content from Resident Evil 3 remake. Now, Resident Evil 2 remake, yes, did remove some content, but in the grand majority of things, it still felt like a full game when you play it. I still felt like I played a full game when I played Resident Evil 2 remake. And side note here, I didn't even know what zapping was. I had to look up zapping. So I played the original when it came out and didn't even know about that whole mechanic. So I guess that one's on me. But the main point I want to make about this is when you play Resident Evil 2 remake, you have the Leon campaign, you have the Claire campaign, you got the secret campaigns that were honestly, were just a few levels, but still, they're still there. And you had their version of mercenary modes, or whatever they want to call it. You had a full package there versus Resident Evil 3 remake, which only had the campaign and that was it. You didn't really have a full complete package like you did with Resident Evil 2 remake.
It's shorter than Resident Evil 2,
but just way too short.
This is honestly the entire reason I got out of bed to make this video. The other two things I could totally live with. You think this game is too action heavy? Good on you. You think this game cut out content? You're right, it did. But you think this game is too short? First of all, I'm going to say this loudly for the people in the back. Every Resident Evil game is short.
Okay, so this one is a bit tricky because Resident Evil fans, we already know the games are short because a lot of them require to play the campaigns several times to unlock everything, which is usually fine. That's good replay value. But here's the thing. Most people who are coming into Resident Evil for the first time, thanks to these remakes, they don't know that. And like, well, yes, if you're going to have a game that wants you to replay the campaign multiple times, you don't want the campaign to be too long, but you also don't want to feel like it was so short it was done in almost an instant. And then later in the video he shows all the different speed runs of all the different Resident Evil games. And yeah, a lot of these games can be beat within an hour. And I'm just going to say this, you cannot equate people who speed run games to general gamers. While yes, I do agree that part of the replay value of Resident Evil games is to see how fast you can beat the campaigns, not everyone is going to do that. Like for me personally, I like to collect all the costumes. So usually time, I don't care unless I have to beat the game in a certain time to unlock a certain costume for a character. And most other people just want to play the game and have fun. They don't want to just speed run through the whole game and miss everything. But yeah, those were my points. I hope I made them clear. I'm in the majority of people. I felt like Resident Evil 3 Remake was a disappointment compared to Resident Evil 2 Remake. And to anyone who has watched his video already, or if the Birdman does decide to watch this video, the reason I skipped the first part of his video is because I fully agree. Resident Evil is part of the action genre, so therefore when people complain about Resident Evil being actiony, well, they're just not understanding the point of Resident Evil. Now, I did promise at the beginning of the video I was going to share a controversial opinion that I have that might make some Resident Evil fans very mad at me, but I'm going to say it. Alright, so here we go. My controversial opinion that's probably going to piss some people off. If you're the type of person that loves to talk massive shit about Resident Evil 5, but then you turn around and praise Resident Evil 4, you are a hypocrite. That's right, I said it. You're a hypocrite if you talk shit about Resident Evil 5 but love Resident Evil 4. And here are my reasons why. If your complaint is about all the action, well, guess what? Resident Evil 4, hell, you can make the argument that Resident Evil 3 started swerving the franchise to more action-orientated gameplay. The AI partner, guess what? Sheva is better than Ashley. Wanna know why? Because Sheva could actually fight back. She's a better AI partner than Ashley ever was and will be. To the changing of one of the main characters, like they changed the way Leon was from Resident Evil 2 to 4, and the way they changed Chris, honestly, I think makes more sense than the way Leon changed. Because guess what? Of course Chris is going to get swole. He joined a task force to fight bioterrorism. Of course he's going to get swole. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like my content, please subscribe. See you guys in the next one.